Have you ever felt disappointed in yourself because you didn't give your best effort or could have worked harder to accomplish your goal? Hi, my name is Connor Robertson, and I believe that we owe ourselves our best effort. Ultimately in life, whether we succeed or fail, we need to get past these moments without getting overconfident or pouting. Giving our best effort requires tenacity to persevere through both our failures and our achievements. If you fall, you need to pick yourself back up and keep going. If you achieve, great, but you can't just stop working because you will lose the skills that you worked hard to attain. For example, if you work out every day and get completely ripped, but then stop working out, your abs will become flabs. And instead of shame or defeat or feeling they are the worst, everyone would have the satisfaction of knowing that they achieved something. That would be a happy, productive, and peaceful world. Oh.
We're going to reorder. No problem.
Okay. Or if you work really hard and ace your first test, you need to work just as hard, maybe even harder for the next one. We all have different abilities and talents to discover in ourselves, and when you find ours, it feels so great because suddenly we know what we want to become in life. But after the initial excitement of turning our talents into wholehearted pursuits, things start to get challenging. We need passion to keep going when we fall. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. We need willpower to help us stick with our goals, even when we feel defeated. Have you guys ever heard of the story of the tortoise and the hare? There was once a hare who was bragging about how fast he could run and making fun of the tortoise for being so slow. Surprisingly, the tortoise challenged the hare to a race. As the race began, the hare raced ahead and ran so fast that dust flew under his feet. In the middle of the race, the hare had gotten so far ahead that he decided to take a nap. Eventually, he woke up, ran to the finish, only to see the tortoise there mocking him. This story is basically a metaphor, for if we stop working hard and get overconfident, then we will fall behind like the hare in the story. But if we believe in ourselves and work even harder to achieve our goals and become our maximum potential, we can become great like the tortoise. If only I had learned this lesson from the story of the tortoise and the hare, but sometimes we have to make the same mistakes in our own life before the truth sinks in. The spring of my 7th grade year was a pretty lousy 3 months. At the beginning of the school year, I did an A in almost every class. This made me get very overconfident, like the hare, and I started thinking that I did not need to work as hard. So I focused on many activities other than school. I practiced baseball 12 hours a week after school, not including tournaments and weekends. On the days I didn't have baseball, I played video games for hours with my friends, not realizing the damage I was doing to my grades, but also my brain cells. I was only spending 30 minutes on homework when I should have been spending at least 2 hours. Shockingly, my grades started dropping. The situation snowballed. I couldn't catch up and turned in more and more assignments late. I felt defeated. Not only had I disappointed myself, but also my parents. I thought I would never come back from this. I felt like a dumb kid walking to school in a fog with no motivation to do anything. I didn't know what to do, and I started to doubt myself that I couldn't complete anything that was assigned. I knew that I needed to come back from this. Unfortunately, I'm stubborn. In spite of all my doubts, I couldn't just give up. I finally admitted that I had to do my homework right after school instead of late at night like I did before. I knew that I would have to pay more attention in class. I did these things because I was determined to get my grades up. So I stuck out the last month of the year and brought all of my grades up a few points. This was a lesson to me that I could never let myself get another deep, overconfident hole again, like the hare did. If only I'd put as much effort as I did at the start of the school year, at the end. I wish I could have been more like the tortoise. Can I say something? There have been points in my life when I thought that I was the worst at everything that I did. One of these points was the story I just told you. It's a terrible feeling, and it can make you angry at yourselves and others. After a while, I figured out that everyone makes mistakes on work, on the playing field, or in our relationships. This decision in our mind, though, to come back from this, is our own choice to succeed. It's our own choice whether we're determined to persevere through our mistakes, to not pout or be sad at ourselves, but to pick ourselves back up and keep trying. I never could have learned this without my family. My dad has been with me for my love of baseball. He taught me to work hard and helped me grow my skills and expectations with myself. My brother always pushes me to be better through our competitions. Whether it was who could sink the most three-pointers, or who could do something the fastest, or trash talking, he always tried to make me work even harder to beat him. I'm not necessarily saying that's a good thing, though. And lastly, my mom has been with me for academics, always helping me get things done and helping me to believe in myself. They all taught me to work hard so I can achieve my goal. But in the end, it doesn't work to put in all the effort to make other people happy. We have to do things for ourselves. I learned that we should do things that we want to do and never for other people. Ultimately, we have to carry our own load. As Paul says in his letter to the Galatians, if we don't do our best, if we give in to our defeats and failures, we are the ones who have to live with ourselves. All must test their own work, then that work, rather than their neighbor's work, would become a cause of pride. Now imagine if there was this new world where everyone would work hard at all of their specialties. It would be amazing. Everyone would be maximizing their own potential and be the best version of themselves. And instead of shame or defeat or feeling that they are the worst at everything that they did, they would have the satisfaction of feeling that they achieved something. That would be a happy, productive, and peaceful world. One more thing that I learned over my years is that practice does not make perfect. Practice perfect creates greatness.